Welcome. You are listening to Humans of Mitti Ke Rang. And today we are in conversation with Miss Iulia Hau from Romania. She is a traveler, blogger, and content writer. Tune in to know more about her life and experiences so far. Who's joining us? We have with us Iulia Hau from Romania today. And she's a traveler, she's a blogger, she's a content writer, and she's going to share some of her very exciting experiences with us. So, Yulia, should we get to the questions?
Sure, I'm ready.
Great. So, what exactly were you doing before you decided to become a full-time traveler and content person? Can you hear me? Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. I think our connection is not very good, but I understood your question. So I can begin. Well, before really becoming a full-time traveler, I finished my master's degree in advertising. And you know the same old story. I've been trying for almost 1 year or so to actually fit into a traditional office job. I think many people are passing through this stage nowadays. And I changed several digital agencies. And the conclusion, which was very not easy to take, was that it was very difficult for me, actually impossible to really fit into a 9 to 5. Good?
Yeah. Yes, you were talking. Okay. Yes. So you got cut off at when you said that people are not really looking for a 9 to 5 job anymore.
Can you hear me now? I don't know whose connection is not that good, but I changed the place a bit. Wait, can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, it was very difficult for me, especially because I knew there was a whole new world there. I had already started to travel, so was pretty difficult at the moment. So I was lucky enough to be offered a freelance part-time job at that moment as a copywriter. So it was then when I
sure what's wrong. Yes, I'm not sure what's wrong either. Should we close this and try restarting? Okay, great. Okay, please continue. Mm-hmm. Right. And so why did you start content writing and blogging, and when did you start?
Can you hear me now? Yes. I don't know. I don't know if it's my connection or yours. Can you hear me, Angela? Okay. No, I think it's okay. No, I think now it's working. It seems to work fine. Yeah, hopefully. Okay. So no, this was my answer. This is what I was doing before it start to travel full time. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so after I tried to work in advertising, after I tried to have a normal job in digital agencies, I mean in an office, I actually have always knew I wanted to write. I knew this is my thing. So the freelance job I was talking to you
Right.
implied writing articles for a travel company, which was absolutely perfect. Was the biggest luck in my life. Therefore, I was making a lot of research about different destinations. I was improving my writing style. So it was then when I really began to realize that I might be good at doing so. So now part of the content I was creating was inspired by travel bloggers with whom I often have to collaborate in a way or another. And well, this also motivated me to wanted to be one of them. At that moment I moved to Valencia, Spain, which for me was the best city in the world at that moment. I think I was 23 or 24 or so. So I was often thinking that, okay, I lived there for 7 months, but when you write all the time and you search all the time for destination, then you are all the time in contact with bloggers
Right.
and nomads. You want to be like them, I mean, you're thinking, I don't want to stay my whole life to just write about the amazing places people can travel to, and I'm just based here. Basically, I lock myself in one city. So yeah, I decided, okay, I want to be a blogger. I want to travel. Of course, I was also motivated by the job I've been offered to. So if I'm to be honest, between the moment I decided I wanted to start a travel blog and the moment I actually launched my blog, it's been like almost 2 years. So a long, long time. I knew a lot about the concept of digital nomadism because I told you my job implied to look a lot into these people's lives in order to find inspiration for my own articles. But it's pretty scary to think of such a lifestyle, to travel from one place to another, to not see your family for months or maybe years. And I hesitated a lot, thinking that might be a way too intrepid way of life for a normal human being. So yeah, but I decided, okay, I want to have a travel blog. I need to travel more. So probably because I really am a hopeless procrastinator, I decided that before I start my travel blog, yes, I am terrible with procrastination. So I said, okay, if I want to start a travel blog, maybe I should at least be a full-time backpacker for at least a couple of months or so.
Where all have you traveled?
So without overthinking,
experiences
I
been
booked a flight to Colombia. This was, I think I was 25 at that moment. I'm 28 right now, so it was 3 years ago. So I booked a flight to Colombia. I planning to spend 3 months there and, gather material and experiences for my blog. The problem was that those 3 months actually became 1 year and a half. So it was 1 year and a half that I was backpacking. And, it was the most memorable period of my life so far. So, yeah. But I was actually able to settle down and find the discipline such a project requires, because you really need a discipline to start, to begin a blog, to begin a project. And I was only able to do this after coming back home and after just settling down. So yeah, this is the story about blogging and content writing. Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay. I've been traveling through Europe, not as much as I wish. And this was before my period with Colombia and Latin America. But in Latin America, I traveled in Colombia, in Guatemala, in Cuba, and Venezuela and Mexico, which is not a lot for 1.5 years, if you think so. And if I'm thinking about the places I lived, because I think it's a big difference between living in a place and traveling in a place. And I always prefer to live in a place. I mean, to spend as much time as possible in a place. So I lived in Brussels, in Belgium, in Spain. As I said, I moved there 3 times, and in Mexico City. Well, except of my country, of course, which is Romania. Yeah, and I was telling you that I think it's a big difference, and it's important to point this difference between living in a place and just traveling. And by living, I mean, renting an apartment in a different country and spend at least a couple of months there. And yeah, I was telling you I always prefer to live in a place rather than just visiting. I would like to talk a bit about this aspect for the people who are interested in traveling. If you have the chance to actually live in a place, to move there, I don't know, maybe finding a job or an internship or volunteering, I strongly recommend to have this experience of actually living abroad. I'm taking as an example my experience of living in Mexico City, which is a huge metropolis. It has over 20 million people. So it's a very rich place, and it's difficult to visit and entirely, and absolutely impossible to understand such a huge city during a 1 week holiday. Normally people spend there 1 week when they are on holiday. So according to my personal experience, after 8 months of living there, I just found myself so immersed in that culture that I don't know, it's really a unique experience to speak their language in their accent. I was using the Mexican accent. I was using their slang after 8 months. I got to know a lot about their food. I don't know if you know. I know India has also great food. Unfortunately, I never traveled to India, but I think Mexico is also probably after India. But they have a very rich gastronomy.
Where all have you lived? And
so I met very close friends, Mexican friends, which is difficult when you travel for 1 week in a place. It's very difficult to really have close bonds, close links with locals, with people there.
Yes,
so I was actually feeling like Mexico was my home, and this is what I think it's amazing when you live abroad. Like you feel that
other
place
than
like
Mexico and Spain that you said, which other places have you actually lived in? Yes.
Okay, so you're not just a visitor, you're really part of the society you live in, and I would always prefer this experience before just trying. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening with my internet. I hope it's going fine. So yeah.
Yeah. So is it easy for you to probably find
I wanted to emphasize this feeling
like
of
to
belonging
find
to a place, of really integrating into the life of the city. Okay. Sorry? Can you repeat the question?
So you just separately volunteered?
Well, lived... Okay, I also lived for 10 months in Brussels. I made a volunteer. I volunteer with people
Great.
with mental
And
disabilities. Was
you
also
have been
a very
exposed
rich
you have been
experience. I
exposed to
recommend
all
to
these
anybody
cultures
who
in a more
want
deeper
to
and more
learn more
meaningful
about
way than most
humanity, about
backpackers
disabilities
and
in
travelers.
general,
So,
about
is there
volunteering.
anything that
I
you
strongly
still hold
recommend to
close to
take a
you?
couple of
Something
months
that you
to
have
do
learned
this
from these
abroad.
cultures that you still
So
follow,
yeah.
still hold close to your
Now,
heart?
of course, the chance to travel and see many places, even if you only get to know them superficially, it's also extraordinary and amazing. And yeah, but yeah, I prefer to live in a place. I was lucky enough to have this job as a freelancer and to keep working as a freelancer. So fortunately, I never had to find a job in a place, you know. I was able to work from my computer, which yeah was a big luck. Yes. This was like 3 years ago. Yeah, it was like part-time volunteering, and I was having my job as a freelancer at the same time. Yeah.
Looks like we have some connection issues. Hopefully, it should be done soon. Until then, the people who are online, can you all hear me properly? Hi.
I'm
Please don't
so
worry
sorry.
about it. Let's just try to move past it. Oh no. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, but I cannot see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you as well.
And can you see me? Really?
Yes.
Okay, I cannot see you, and I cannot see myself neither. But I can answer the question anyway.
Do you want to wait a
Um,
second?
no, just if you can say something from time to time, just to be sure that we are still online,
Yes,
it would be amazing.
sure. So,
Okay.
you were saying you were answering the previous question about the cultures
Yes,
and how it's
about
similar.
yeah. So I told you that something that really struck me was how similar we are, regardless the corner of the world we come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember an experience I had about this thing. I lived for a couple of weeks or so when I was traveling in Colombia with a group of Venezuelan street dancers.
Mm-hmm.
Who actually at the beginning, at the moment I met them, they seemed like so different of all the people I knew at that moment. You know, their way of life, their skin color, their accent, their language, their body language, you know, background, life stories, you know, was nothing I was used to. And also this was probably also what compelled me to want to know them better.
Mm-hmm.
So I took my backpack. I was staying at the hostel at that moment, and I moved with them in an apartment they were having in Cartagena, so in Colombia. They were living in a neighborhood where usually tourists never get to know because it's a bit outside of the city center. So I spent 3 weeks there, like basically living with them.
Right.
And I remember that during those 3 weeks, the most important
Hi.
Mm.
Hello? Looks like we have some network issues. Guys, if you guys can see me and hear me clearly, please put a thumbs up or something in the comments. Am I audible? Am I clear? Can you guys please let me know in the comments? Okay, great. So I guess we'll just go offline for the time being and rejoin. And you were talking about experience living with those dancers. I can't remember the name now, but yeah, you were telling us about your living experience and about people.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I think that was the thing that I don't just love and suffer, enjoy, and wish for the same things at the most profound levels of ourselves. So regardless the differences, yeah. So that's the
absolutely
idea.
lovely.
This is
So
something that
how
I
easy
wish
is
not
it
to
for
forget.
you to
Yeah.
move from place to place? Do you just pick up a suitcase and get on your way?
Well, at the beginning, it depends. At the beginning, it might be difficult, and it might be difficult a long term. Because sometimes you need some ground. Sometimes you need to feel like I belong to a place. You need a routine sometimes, but also if you make it for periods of times. In my case, it was like this. So if I make this for a long period of time, after I took a pause for a couple of months, I think it's very
Amazing. So
rich. It's
if
a
you
very
could
rich
please share
experience.
some
Yeah.
really memorable travel moments with us.
Yes.
If you could, yeah, if you could share
Sorry,
some really
I didn't understand.
memorable travel moments that have happened with you with us.
Okay. Well, when I think about happy and impactful travel memories, it comes to my mind. I think those moments of wonderment and awe, and those moments when I remember when I was waking up in a during morning in a new city that I never seen before, and I stepped out on the streets for the first time, and everything looks brand new, and your mind is just not capable of thinking of anything else except like scanning all around with an uncheckable thirst of everything that comes to your sight. I remember this happened to me once. I was on a Caribbean beach. In the morning, I was jogging on the shore of the sea when I I know I suddenly stopped and I looked around at the gorgeous landscapes flanked with palms, wetted by the waves, and in the sound of I think there were some tropical birds there, and I was just beginning to feel an enormous gratitude for the chance of being there. I was already there for 2 weeks or so, but was that particular moment when I stopped and I said, I can't believe I had the chance. I have the chance to actually be there, and I couldn't stop feeling astonished by the beauty around me, and I know I was really overwhelmed by the gratitude of being there. Yeah, I think these are the most powerful memories. Those moments of awareness of where you actually are and how
That's
far away
beautiful.
you are from
And
home.
do you think,
So yeah,
as a woman, it's more difficult for you
yeah.
to travel and move from place to place?
According to my experience, I would say no. I mean, I didn't feel I was more endangered, or my travels would be more difficult for being a woman. I would even dare to say that people might be kinder with you as a woman. They are thinking that you are more fragile, that you are more vulnerable, especially as a woman traveling alone. I often find myself kind of pampered by the locals, who wanted to make me, feel safe and to feel well in their countries. Now, of course, not everybody you meet, it's good-willed and nice, and I think all the travelers, women and men, have the duty to be as careful as possible. Now, maybe also because we as women, we know we are physically less stronger than men, we tend to protect ourselves more. We avoid situations that could possibly put us in dangerous situation. Now, so no. So the short answer would be I didn't feel that for men would be easier to travel than for me. Now, if I were to talk about prejudice in general, I would say that not the difference between men and women is the most significant aspect here, but rather the one between nationalities. And I was not aware of this aspect before traveling. I was really not aware about the racism and how we regard people different according to the country they come from. So, but while traveling, I realized that exactly depending on the country you come from and the country you actually travel, you can be regarded in a different way, or by the people you come in contact to, and people are
Right.
people have fixed ideas about different nationalities, and it's also important to understand that everybody can pass through this. So it's not one nationality, one country, or a couple of countries that suffer of racism, or because, for example, East Europeans have a very bad image, suffer from stigma in Western European countries. Also, Americans have a bad reputation in Mexico, and Mexicans have a bad reputation in the United States. And Southern Europe is badly viewed in Northern Europe. Arabs are badly seen in Spain and other European countries. So these are attitudes that take place all over the world, And yeah, I think this is what we should be prepared to face, in my opinion, while
Right.
traveling abroad.
And
This kind of
has the
prejudice.
current
Yeah.
situation
Yeah, so
messed
this is
with
my
your
answer.
plans in any way that you had planned for 2020? Yes.
You mean like the current situation, the pandemic?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
sorry, can you repeat the question? Oh, if I had plans. Yes, I was supposed to spend three months this summer in United Kingdom. I was supposed to be involved in a Buddhist course of 3 months, and I was really looking forward to be there. But no, I've been locked inside of the house for 8 months now. So yeah, it's been 8 months that I don't travel.
So you're in Romania.
The nearby city, but I'm fine. It's okay. What about you? Did you have? Yes, I'm in Romania, so it was a nice time to be able to work for my blog and to calm myself down and to recollect memories and to rethink about the things I saw and how I try to integrate these experiences as best as I could. Yeah. Did you have plans
to join college
for this period?
In a different city, but yeah, that got postponed.
Oh,
it's okay. I think.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it would be in Delhi.
Was it in far away?
Yeah, and this.
Okay.
I know it made me sad as well, but I guess
sorry to hear
we
that.
have to make shift with the Zoom calls at the moment. Yes.
Yes, yeah, and we need to accept, basically, when you know the whole planet has their plans ruined.
Coming to my
easier
last
to
few
accept
questions
that yours are as well.
for our Indian viewers and listeners from anywhere else in the world, please tell us more about Romania and what you love about Romania.
I'm so sorry.
Sure.
Can you repeat the question?
For all our viewers from other countries, if you could tell us more about Romania and what you find to be the beauty of the country.
Okay. I don't know if I understood well. You said what would be nice to visit in my country?
About your country.
Was this your question? Okay. As far as I see, I mean, most of the viewers, most of the people that are watching us right now are from India, probably. So, I'm fortunate enough to have a very beautiful country, and I would be very happy to hear that people that are following us now will ever travel to Romania. Unfortunately, I have never visited India.
Yes.
Can you hear me? It got blocked again. So I was saying I haven't had the chance to see India so far, so I could not compare the two countries. But I'm pretty sure they are very different. In my country, I think there's a lot of natural diversity. We have a very rich culture. We have a very interesting communist past, which I think it's worldly known. We have welcoming people, and I would bet for the music festivals during summer. And I would also recommend if any of you plan to visit Romania, I would suggest not to do it during winter, but rather to attend the music festivals during summer. Well, not at the moment, but maybe in the years to come. So yeah, it's pretty different by what you actually think when you think of
amazing. Looking forward to visit soon.
Country in general. It's pretty different of Spain or France.
Other than your definitely.
Yeah, I think it has
other than your
to do.
Instagram that
but
our
it's a beautiful
viewers
country,
can
a lot
see right
to
now.
see.
How else can they access your work and support your blogging?
Please just drop me a message.
Yes.
For the moment, I have my blog in Romanian, so it would be difficult to understand anything. But I recently began to publish articles in Medium. I don't know if you know the platform.
Yes.
Medium. Okay, so you can find me there. I can type the name. would be amazing to see you there. So I publish there in English.
Great.
So
Thank you so
it's
much,
Iulia Hau.
Iulia, for joining us
Yes,
and sharing your experiences
I
with us. It
typed
was
the
such a great
name there.
experience talking
Yeah,
to
so
you.
you can find some of my travel writings in
No,
English
don't
there.
worry about it at all. Don't worry about it at all. It was just amazing meeting you and talking to you.
Thank you, Angela, and I'm
Definitely.
so
I
sorry
hope
for
so
the
too.
internet. I really
Bye bye.
apologize.
Take care.
I'm sorry.